Hi, welcome back. We are at the last section of lab section 1, and that's to discuss the scientific implementation of the problem. This quick section is going to have the first thing, a quick introductory about what we have covered so far from the previous 3 chapters, and then we're going to look at the implementation setup for the problem at hand. So far what we have learned, essentially we have learned how to convert a problem into a research setup philosophy. We have seen how to define space of data. Then we have also discussed the highlighting knowledge of descriptive and inferential principles. Then we discuss also deciding on the research paradigm or methodology, either quantitative or qualitative. What is the structure is going to be, either inductive or deductive. And then we discuss considering ethical factors and working on a draft of research topic aim. Also, problem of subject reaction and how it works with the ethical factor along the side. So this is what we have covered so far, academically speaking, from the previous 3 chapters. Now we're going to look how to put all these together into an implementation setup for the problem at hand. First of all, we're going to define the problem just in a very general language. This is not the final actual language of defining the research problem, but this is a general language. So what kind of problem we would discuss? We know that there are some factors seems to contribute to the decision of the participant to drop out a class. What are those factors? This is the first thing we want to find. Then we want to find if we can predict actually such a decision before it happens. So this is the kind of the second thing in our agenda to accomplish. Second thing we want to discuss maybe is how to define a data space. So far we know from the previous section we have illustrated a graphical image of a classroom with some element of it. For example, we have the participant data. Those participant data could be a demographical data such as the age, the background of the participant, marital status, etc., and some other variables such as the participant motivation or reason, etc. Then we have a trainer data. Again, we have a kind of demographical data about the trainer. We have some kind of variable about it. We have material data. What type of material, the date of the material, the publication, etc. We have subject data, and that is about the title, the popularity of the subject. We have the test data. What kind of test is it? Samples of the test. We have certification data. That's about the process, the requirement, the procedures, etc. To remind you, I was talking about each of these elements, such as the participant, the trainer, material, subject, test, and certification. Each one of them have its own data, in fact. Next, maybe we want to discuss the structure, going to use perhaps inductive, deductive approach. So why inductive, deductive? You may go back and check out the philosophical understanding of the inductive deductive approach, or each one of them separately. Essentially, I think we're going to start to observe the classroom, then maybe we will describe our observation and analyze what we have described, and finally we come up with essential result. Based on this result, perhaps we're going to create kind of a theoretical assumption or hypothesis, and then we will observe that hypothetical assumption or claim, and we make some confirmation, and finally we produce the final results. Of course, we will bring into action the ethical concern, as we discussed before, and since our subjects are human subjects, where the ethical concern is quite important in this case. We will discuss the literature review on the subject. So that was the actual end of section 3 on this very first lab section 1. Now I believe that we are ready to go ahead and get back to the academic study, to chapter 5, and that is to discuss the subject of framework and research design. I will see you then.